Thank you very much for coming this session. I would like to introduce our resource person, Ms. Priya Vaidhya. I am pleased to introduce Ms. Priya Vaidhya, a highly accomplished individual who has recently completed her PhD thesis in Library Information Science from Aligarh Muslim University. Under the guidance of the Professor P.M. Naushad Ali, she made significant contribution to her field of study. Ms. Vaidya academic journey has been marked by the notable achievements, including being a senior research fellow, university grant commissions, and receiving a gold medal and PG merit scholarship at the Department of Library Information Science. With a diverse range of the research interests, Ms. Vaidya has explored various aspects of her field. Her expertise include the assessment of the service quality and qualitative research, library management, bibliometric meta-analysis studies, trained in ICT. So her work as a library intern and semi-professional assistant at Maulana Azad Library, AMU. She gained practical experience in library operations. Additionally, she successfully handled the seminar library automations project using LIP 7.0 at the Department of Petroleum Studies, Zakir Hussain College of Engineering and Technology, AMU. During the course of the research, Ms. Vaidya was also involved in the teaching project where impart knowledge on library information science to MSc and MBA students at the Faculty Agricultural Sciences. AMU, her dedication to both research and teaching demonstrates her commitment to the advancement of knowledge in her field. Ms. Vaidya was the several research publications to her credit, with her work being featured in reputable journals such as the Library Herald, IGI published Serial Librarian, Journal of Librarianship and Information Science, Journal of Library Information Technology, and her outstanding contribution were recognized when she secured the first position in the Best Student Paper Award 2021 organized by Calprography. I am request to Mr. Priya Vaidya, please continue your lecture regarding MAXQDA. Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I hope I am easily visible to all of you and properly audible to also, right? So thank you so much, Rafiq sir, for giving such an detailed introduction about me. So thanks a lot, and I am highly grateful to all the participants whosoever are joined today and make my day. So regarding its topic, first of all, I will share my PPT. Yeah. So I again welcome you all in the 2 days national workshop on content analysis in qualitative research and approach with MAXQDA software. So without further ado, this is the roadmap for 2 days national workshop. So in the first day, I will be covering what is qualitative research, right? Why do we conduct qualitative research? How to conduct qualitative research? How to report qualitative research? And then how to combine qualitative and with quantitative mixed method approach, that is. So in this, what is qualitative research, I will be covering its importance, need, definition, importance, advantages and disadvantages. And in the second module, I will be covering the its characteristics, that why do we want to conduct qualitative research in addition with quantitative research. So it's due to its characteristics and because some research questions cannot be answered using only quantitative methods. That's why there is a great need to conduct the qualitative research. Now the third point is how to conduct qualitative research. This is the main problem that we all the researchers are facing. Because in social sciences, because I am from the social sciences field, so I was facing that in quantitative research we are easily getting the responses from the respondents through the questionnaires, but we are not getting the real essence from out of them. So we are not able to get their perceptions, get their emotions, get their opinions regarding a particular service or regarding a particular product. So in this I will be covering the sampling, data collection method, analysis, interpretation, and all. So basically whenever we conduct qualitative research, it basically involves several back and forth steps between data collection and analysis, where new insights and experiences can lead to adaptation and expansion of the original plan. So like in quantitative research, there is a single roadmap that first we collect the data, and then after collecting the data, we analyze it and visualize it as per our objectives. But in qualitative research, we have to go back and we have to go move forward to conclude to our research topic or to attain our research objectives. So the next point is how to report, which really requires rigorous and systematic approach. And we usually follows two basic approaches, that is systematic approach, that is content analysis, and thematic analysis. Basically I will be discussing in detail about the content analysis and thematic analysis, but before going into the detailed version, I will just let you know that in content analysis only we are dealing with the qualitative data in addition with the quantitative data. Like we are going to create a codes, we are going to create categories. So we have to find out the frequency of that codes, and we have to find out the frequency of that particular categories also. So in that content analysis, there is a mixture, there is a blend of qualitative data, qualitative assess, as well as quantitative assess. But in thematic analysis, there is a detailed as well as rigorous efforts should be put into in conducting the thematic analysis, and it is purely qualitative in nature. So whenever we talk about qualitative research and quantitative research, what do we mean? So in quantitative research, we intend to extract the quantitative information. Like we are going to measure, we are going to count, we are going to quantify these several services or product or the nature of the services or nature of the products. But in qualitative research, we are extracting the quality, we are extracting the opinions, their the participants opinions, the participants mindset, the participants tacit knowledge, we are extracting the quality. Like so there is a need that how do we beautifully combine qualitative research with the quantitative research techniques, qualitative with quantitative research techniques. It really brings inclusivity, expansion to extend the breadth and range of the study, deeper explanation of results, or offsetting the weaknesses of one method with the strength of another. Why I'm saying that offsetting the weaknesses of one method with the strength of another? Why? So there is a beauty. If we are only conducting the quantitative research, or as per our nature of the study, if we are only conducting the quantitative approach, if we are only adopting the quantitative approach, then we are getting the results in terms of numerical data. Like but if we add the qualitative research, if we add the qualitative perspective into our quantitative research, then it will create a beautiful picture of our study. So in today's first day, in today's session, I will be covering what is qualitative research, why do we conduct qualitative research, how to conduct qualitative research, how to report qualitative research, and how to combine qualitative with quantitative research methods. But on another day, that is on tomorrow, I will be covering how to assess qualitative data with computer assisted qualitative data analysis software. That is, there are n number of qualitative softwares, but in the today's but in the in going on a national workshop, I will be covering the MAXQDA software, which is very much user friendly, I can say, and it's effective assessment with the range of open source and proprietary software to retain rich and analytical meanings. So there are several means and measures through which we can analyze our qualitative data. Like, we can analyze our qualitative data with the help of n number of softwares. Like, there is a NVivo software is also there. Another software is atlas.ti. Next one is QDA Miner, which is a byproduct of Provalis research. Next one is QCOS. Another one is Dudos. Next free and open source organization option is Tagati, that is TAGUETTE, and the last one is the Monkey Learn. And there are several n number of qualitative softwares. Besides these softwares, we can also adopt the programming language like Python. So the Python, we can also extract the beautiful meaning, or extract the analytical findings from the by using the Python programming. But in this 2 days workshop, I will be using only MaxQDA software, which I will be covering in tomorrow's session, right? So let's explore the variables which are covering in the today's workshop. So in this qualitative research, first of all, the title of the today's workshop is National Workshop on Content Analysis and in Qualitative Research, an approach with MaxQDA software. So the first part is the qualitative research. So what is qualitative research? So it is a type of scientific research which is having the strength of understanding complex textual data or textual descriptions. It basically seeks to explore the phenomena and are typically more flexible but requires strict research ethics. So there is much importance that we have to follow all the research ethics, like what sample we are adopting, what the participants wants, and there is a clear transparency between the interviewee or the interviewer. So the next point is the content analysis. The okay. So content analysis means analyzing the text data, like open-ended responses received from the survey. Next one is interview transcripts, retrieved tweets, field research notes, like we conduct focus group discussions also, and the conversations can also be included, or any type of communicative language that is such as books, essays, discussions, newspapers headlines, speeches, media, historical documents, and so on. So the third variable, which is most important, is the MaxQDA software, which we will be using in our workshop. So it is one of the number one software which is designed by Berlin, Germany, a company from Germany, and it is designed for computer assisted qualitative and mixed methods data, text and multimedia analysis, coding and analyzing source material, and import survey results. So it is a blend of qualitative as well as quantitative research. Like we can analyze our results, we can analyze our data in the form of qualitative aspect and in the form of quantitative aspect also. Like in qualitative, we are extracting the meaning of the respondents answer, and in quantitative we are counting the frequency of the coded responses which we are uh, uh, preparing in our analysis. So the first part is, what is qualitative research? So there is a craving to analyze each bit of information by the researchers across various domains and presenting the research findings into more comprehensive way, right? So there is a need to conduct the qualitative research. So in the pool of the concept of open data, the topics like machine learning, data science, artificial learning, big data, all the topics are gaining attention. And if we want to delve deeper into the piece of information, it would give a tremendous and meaningful conclusion at any set of text. So, so what is the purpose? So what is the purpose of qualitative research for conducting the qualitative research? So the basic purpose is to understand a given research problem from the perspectives of the local population, which we are including in our study, and it specifically obtain a specific information about their opinions, about their beliefs, emotions, and what meaning they intend to manifest with their experiences. So everyone knows that the meaning of the quality means we are extracting their opinions, their mindset into our through our research method. So the definition of qualitative research is a type of scientific research whose basic objective is to determine answers to a question, collects people's experiences for a given research issue, and produces findings that were not predefined. So finally, what is the significance? So to assess the participants' live experiences with the aim of discovering their perspectives on the present system of services, with the goal of determining how they construct and reconstruct their perceptions as they move on from the past to the present experiences. So in all, what happened that when we are conducting the qualitative research, we are going deeper into the mindset of our participants. What type of participants are participating in our research study, and what are their beliefs, because from one point of time to another point of time, their mindset, their perception with respect uh, to a particular service or to a particular product is goes on changes, right? So there is a need to conduct the qualitative research along with the quantitative research. Thus I can see that qualitative research is a way to investigate the current practices of any organization by delving deeper into the current beliefs of the system and present their findings in more coherent manner by visualizing them in meaningful or lucid way. So the data gathered through the qualitative research is purely textual, obtained from audio tapes, video tapes, transcripts, and it may be a field notes, or it may be open-ended answers received from the respondents. So the next part is, what problems may we face while adopting qualitative research? Well, if we are conducting or if we are adopting the qualitative research design, then we have to know the nature of our study. Like if we are assessing the quality, if we are assessing the service quality of any particular organization of or any particular product or of any particular institute, so we need to be more flexible in terms of adopting the research practices or research designs. So in that context, we have to conduct our study in both the manners. Like we have to conduct the qualitative research, and we have to obtain the quantitative data also. So the first point, why do we conduct qualitative research? Because some research questions cannot be answered using only quantitative methods. For example, if a researcher wanted to know the quality of any product or service, right? So which is purely dependent upon the reviews, upon their reviews, feedbacks, opinions of the customers or clients. So by using quantitative methods, the researcher would be able to know about its usage, rate of its demand and supply. All the numerical data can be analyzed, but the researcher can find his/her answers whichever be asked during the survey. So by using or by adding the qualitative essence, or by adding or by collecting the qualitative data, the researcher would be able to know their thought process, their opinions, their likes, their dislikes regarding a product or a service, thus to discover reasons for observed patterns, especially the invisible or surprising ones. The qualitative designs are needed. So the next point is how to conduct qualitative research. So from this figure, we can see that the if we are adopting the qualitative research technique, so in while conducting it, it is we have to be very sure that it is we have to be very cautious that it is an iterative process, like it is a cyclic process. Like in quantitative research, there is a single passage, like data collection, then data gathering by applying the sample by applying the research particular research methodology. So in qualitative research, if we are preparing one research question or few set of research questions, then we have to adopt a research design based upon our research questions or based upon our objectives of our study. Now then we just moving forward, then we just collect data through the open-ended questions, through the interview techniques, through the audio visual tapes, or there are various methods through which you can collect the data from our respondents. So while analyzing the data, we observed that the codes or categories which we are preparing are very much has to be very much clear, and and reflects a meaning and reflects a meaning which must be synchronized to our research objectives. So it is an iterative process. As we are going forward, the research questions, there might be a possibility that research question needs to be reframed or the research design needs to be modified. So there are n number of ways to conduct qualitative research, and due to its characteristics, the steps of data collection and analysis are not as separate and consecutive as they are to be in quantitative research. So it means that qualitative research involves several back and forth steps between data collection and data analysis, where new insights and new experiences can lead to adoption and explosion of the original plan. Means what we are in our research objectives, there might be a chance that while reaching to the data analysis part, there might be a chance that our research objectives can be modified. So this process ends when saturation is achieved. That is when no relevant information can be found. But the main task is that each step and decision of the researcher needs to be well documented. Like my suggestion in this regard, that if we are conducting this qualitative research or we are approaching any qualitative research design into our into our study, then it is very much important to present the transparency regarding your steps, regarding your procedures, whichever you are adopting in your research, in your complete research study. So in the research methodology, if you are marking each and every step, then the reviewer might be clear that the researcher is very much clear in adopting the qualitative research, like as he or she is marking the exact information, the exact steps which he or she is adopting. So the basic question arises, what are the different methods of data collection? What sampling is mostly preferred by the researchers, and what research approach do we adopt to conduct the qualitative research? So here are the methods of data collection in qualitative research. So the first point is how do we collect the data in qualitative research? The first point is the document study. That is, here arises the need of content analysis and thematic analysis also. So the content analysis includes numerical data as well as textual data, whereas the thematic analysis, it includes only textual analysis in the forms of themes or sub-themes. So it includes personal and non-personal documents such as archives, annual reports, guidelines, policy documents, diaries, or letters, or whatever the research articles we are extracting from any scholarly databases. We can review it with the help of any software, or we can do the qualitative analysis, or we can do the literature review like meta-analysis. So the next point is the observation and field notes. Through observations and field notes, we can collect the data in qualitative research. It includes detailed as well as thorough examination of an event. Means during the observation, the observer take notes on everything, on certain predetermined parts of what is happening around them. The next one is focus group discussions. It includes views from all the persons who are having the same objective. Thus, a detailed opinion can be received and rich insights can be generated. So basically in focus group discussions, the researcher appoints a group of individuals who are having the same objective, and who are having the same objective but different perspective. So in this regard, we are extracting the different opinions from a set of persons who are having the same objectives. And the fourth one is the most important, that is interview methods. So in interview methods, interviews are basically an essential device in social science research, because the information gathered by this means is original in nature and reflects the participant's state of mind, and textual data. So this refers to one-on-one communication between the interviewee and the interviewer, aim to understand their personal experiences with the present day's service culture described in their own words. So there are two types of interviews, that is the synchronous interviews and the asynchronous interviews. So in synchronous interviews are those in which the presence of both the participant and researcher matters, and interaction can be done in online or offline mode, like we are doing in the we are interacting in a synchronous manner, right? And an online interview can be carried out through any audio video conferencing tool. So in this regard, the researcher needs to be active and must be capable of creating a comfortable, permissive and friendly environment throughout the entire conversation. Means you have to be very much sure that your interviewee is not feeling any discomfort during the conversation, or it it can be reduced, like this type of discomfort can be reduced if we are providing them the set of questions before starting the interview. So this is a type of synchronous interview which I have covered recently. So on the other hand, asynchronous interviews are those which are conducted in non-real time mode and are far easier to set up in terms of time, participants availability and technologically. So asynchronous interviews can be done through sending an interview schedule by emails and blogs. So in this asynchronous interviews, the researcher can send a predetermined questionnaire. It can be semi-structured or a structured interview, which can be sent via Google link or via Microsoft Forms or through the email. So this type of interview is falls under the category of asynchronous interviews, where the interviewee and interviewer are living in different are living in different phases. So the next part is the types of interviews. So regarding the types of interviews, I have already described that there are two types of interviews, that is asynchronous and synchronous. But in general, there are three types of further interviews, like structured interviews, semi-structured interviews, and unstructured interviews. So in structured interviews, an interview may be defined as a pattern of verbal interaction between two or more individuals initiated by the interviewer for a specific purpose and focused on some specific content areas in order to gather data. And in this perspective, in the structured interviews, we have to create, we need to gather the same type of information from each participant, and the received answers from all of them must be distinctive and comparable. Now, in semi-structured interviews, such interviews are created to gather detailed information in a well-defined style, and is certainly employed when the researcher wishes to delve deeper into a topic or into a research topic with the attempt to understand the provided answers thoroughly. So in this, such interviews enables a researcher to yield a set of information that can be comparable across the cases. And in these types of interviews, these are characterized by open-ended questions and an interview guide which defines the broad area of interest. So in semi-structured interviews, the set of questions are different in nature. But in unstructured interviews, what happen in unstructured interviews are those in which the same type of information is not attempted to obtain from each participant, and mostly the approach seems more to have friendly conversation rather than a data gathering interview. Like if I am conducting an unstructured interview, so I will raise a question, and depending upon his answers or depending upon his response, I will generate another question. So this type of interview is generally falls in the unstructured interviews. So moving forward, right. So what type of sampling adopted in qualitative research? So in qualitative research, the researchers typically make sampling choices that enables them to achieve a deep understanding of the phenomena that they are studying. So in this section, we will examine the techniques that qualitative researchers typically employ when sampling, as well as the various types of samples that qualitative researchers are most likely to use in their work. So in this regard, there are the sampling design which they follow are the four types of sampling design which they are generally follows. That is, first one is purposive sampling, next one is snowball sampling, third one is quota sampling, and the fourth one is convenience sampling. All this sampling falls in the non-sampling design area. So in purposive sampling, researcher seeks out participants with specific characteristics, like the researcher have their objective, and with the intent to fulfill his or her objective, or his or her purpose, the researcher seeks out the participants and gathers the data. Whereas in snowball sampling, the researcher relies on participant referrals to recruit new participants. It means that if I am conducting a study on assessing the service quality of a particular product, so whosoever are using or utilizing that product, uh, I just appoint one participant from that particular category, and based on that, based on his or her response, that particular participant is mentioning the another participant that he or she is using this type of product or service. So in this, the researcher completely relies upon the first person, and on the opinions on the basis of the first on the basis of the opinion of the first person, first respondent. I will be selecting the next respondent, and the process goes on. This is this is called a snowball sampling design. Next one is quota sampling. In quota sampling, there is a group where the researcher selects cases from within several different subgroups. And the fourth one is the convenience sampling. So in convenience sampling, there is a complete flexibility in the with respect to the researcher, or the researcher gathers data from whatever cases happens to be convenient. So in a convenient environment, or in a convenient way, the researcher can gather data from the respondents as per his requirement. So the last point is how to report qualitative research. So like in quantitative research, there are different research methods to be adopted to carry out the research. Similarly, in qualitative research, there are different types of research approaches which needs to be adopted while conducting it. So the next question which can be asked, that which qualitative approach best fits your research needs. So my first answer would be that it basically depends upon the nature of your study, like what type of study you are conducting. So in detail, I will be covering which research design will be best suitable to your research study. So first one is the narratives research. So in narrative research, such description consists of what they have experienced and how they have experienced it. Basically, narrative research originated from literature, history, anthropology, sociology, social linguistics, and education. Further, it produces the stories, like we have to analyze our data by understanding their stories. So it produces the stories through the interaction of the researcher and the participant. It studies lives and lived experiences of individuals and further explores the life of an individual. That is, active collaboration with the participant is very much essential. Like if we are if you are going to conduct qualitative research and you are adopting a narrative research narrative research design approach, then you have to be very much involved in your research with your research participant. So that's why the active collaboration with the participant is very much essential. Next one is the phenomenological research. It basically provides a deeper understanding of a phenomena as experienced by several individuals, and the researcher can be able to forge a common understanding of an issue. Like I'm giving you an example in this regard, that when do we adopt this phenomenological research? Like the if our research topic is to assess the service quality with respect to the faculty members of the central universities. So to extract the tacit knowledge of the faculty members, or to analyze their perceptions, their experiences, so we are basically researching the entire phenomena of a particular service, that what type of phenomena is going on throughout this sample selection. Like the in this case, my sample selection was the faculty members of a central university. So in this regard, I am recognizing the phenomena. So this type of research is adopted when a researcher intends to gain common insights from several participants of their lived experiences of a concept or which describes the phenomena. So this approach focuses on exploring what all participants have in common after they experiencing a phenomena. So after getting a particular service from any organization, the researcher's duty is to assess the phenomena, that what opinions are there regarding a particular service or regarding a particular product. So next one is the grounded theory research. In this research, all the participants in the study must have experienced the process, and the development of the theory may provide an outline for further research. So the primary outcome in this grounded theory research, is that it is a theory with a specific set of components, that is a key phenomena, policies, and significance. So it is subjected to memoing things to generate or discover a theory for a process or an action that has distinct phases that occur over time. So in this regard, focus group interviews are very much important if we are adopting a grounded theory research. And in this, it is done in which the researcher develops a general theory of a process by gathering the views of a large number of participants. Means we are gathering the views or opinions or mindset or perceptions of large number of participants by conducting the grounded theory approach. The next one is the ethnographic. It's literal Through its literal meaning, if we are adopting this ethnographic research, it means we are concentrating or we are focusing towards a particular ethnic group in which we wanted to conduct a study. So this type of research method can require prolonged time, as it involves in-depth examination and gathering data on those grounds. So ethnography, while for conducting this ethnographic research, is a challenging, daunting, as well as time-consuming process, which solely depends on the expertise and understanding of the researcher to be able to analyze, observe, and then deduce the research data. So in other words, in ethnographic research, it focuses to study a shared and learned pattern of values, beliefs, behaviors, and language of a culture sharing group. So if there is an example in this ethnographic research, if we are going to find out the pattern or trend of a particular service amongst the indigenous group of people, or among the indigenous group of persons. So in this regard, we can apply the ethnographic research, and it it generally requires the researchers to let themselves immersed in the day-to-day lives of the people. So you have to be very much involved while adopting this ethnographic research. So the last one is the case study research. So while conducting this, or while adopting this case study research, the challenge of adopting this approach is that the researcher must identify the case comprehensively. So we have to observe, we have to identify our case, or whatever the case. The case may be any institution, any group of people, or any service organization. So the case may be one single university or one single institute also. So we have to identify, we have to recognize, we have to identify our case in more detailed manner or more comprehensively. So the case may be concrete and entity, organization, or any small group. So this method may look difficult to operate. However, it is one of the simplest ways of conducting research, but it involves a deep dive and thorough understanding of a particular set of data or a particular organization. So these are the 5 types of research designs which we can adopt while conducting our qualitative research. So so in crux, I can say that there are these 5 research approaches or these 5 research designs have to be very much have to be applied in our research design based upon our nature of the study. So we can apply narrative research, phenomenological research, grounded theory research, ethnographic research, and case study research. So I hope all the participants are very much clear that which research design do we adopt or do we implement while conducting our qualitative research. Why, if we are if we wanted to know the phenomena of, if we wanted to know the phenomena of a particular service, then we may apply the phenomenological research. Or if we are conducting a research on single institution, in several research papers, we can see that the research sample size is from a the sample collection, the sample size is basically from a single institution or single university. So in this regard, which research design we are adopting is the case study research. Like we are identifying, we are observing, we are investigating our study. We are investigating one institution as per our research objectives. So the this is the frame. This is the main figure. I have described that there are two types of analysis can be done in in this qualitative research. So there is a thematic analysis as well as in content analysis. So this figure summarizes the comparison of the main characteristics of thematic analysis and content analysis in the continuum of qualitative research. So from this figure, it seems that both content analysis and thematic analysis share the same aim of analytically examining narrative materials from life stories by breaking the text into relatively small unit of content, right? And then submitting them to descriptive treatment. So in both type of analysis, like in content analysis and thematic analysis, the approaches that are suitable uh, uh, for answering the different questions, like what are the concerns of people about an event, what reasons do people have for using or not using a service or procedure. So these type of questions need to be answered in content analysis as well as in thematic analysis. Now, the content analysis is well suited to analyze the multifaceted, important and sensitive phenomena. Like you can see from this figure that in right hand side, we are conducting the content analysis, and here it is written that we are quantifying the things in content analysis, but in thematic analysis, we are qualifying the things. So qualitative approaches share a broad philosophy such as person centeredness, means we are very much person oriented, like participant oriented, and a certain open-ended starting point. So here the factist perspectives, if in the regard of philosophical background, if we are considering the philosophical background, so here in the factist perspective means the researcher finds out about the actual behavior, attitude, or real motives of the people being studied, or to detect what has happened. So it should be noted that both approaches allow for a qualitative analysis of data. By using content analysis, it is possible to analyze data qualitatively and at the same time quantify the data. Like we are obtaining the frequency of the codes. So the content analysis uses a descriptive approach in both coding of the data and its interpretation of quantitative counts of the codes. On the other hand, thematic analysis provides a purely qualitative, detailed, nuanced account of data. So there is a detailed examination of the data, of the textual data. So at last, I can say that in content analysis, only the frequency of codes is counted to find significant meanings in the text. and there is the danger of missing the context. So therefore, researchers employing content analysis are sometimes accused of removing meaning from its context, like whatever the responses we are receiving. So in most of the cases, what happens that we are losing it context. We are losing its meaning, that what meaning is reflected from this particular response. So the problem is that a word or coding category may occur more frequently in the speech of one person or group of people than another, um, for different reasons. So frequent occurrence could indicate greater importance, but it might simply reflect greater willingness or ability to talk at length about the topic. So there for in this regard, there is an example, like if our respondent is giving an answer, giving a response in which a word is there like mine, mine, so the meaning of mine is different. There is a personal meaning. There is it may happen that there is a meaning of mines, like we are if we are talking about the coal mines. So the context, what we intend to classify, what we intend to investigate, its context. That's why I said that here the danger is that there is a chances that the researcher might lose the context of the meaning or context of the response. So we have to be very much cautious, and we have to be uh, very much particular while analyzing our received responses, and then categorizing our codes, and then categorizing our categories. So content analysis is one of the research approach. So it is used to determine the presence of certain words, themes, or concepts within some given qualitative data. Next one is the researchers can quantify and analyze the presence, meanings, and relationships of such certain words, themes, or concepts. Next one is researchers can evaluate language used within a news article to search for bias or partiality. Researchers can then make inferences about the messages within the text and even the culture and time of surrounding the text. Next one is the conceptual analysis, determines the existence and frequency of concepts in a text. Next one is the relational analysis, which develops the conceptual analysis further by examining the relationship among the concepts in a text. So each type of analysis may lead to different results, conclusions, interpretations, and subsequent meanings. So there is one more analysis that is known as discourse analysis. Discourse analysis is a qualitative analysis method used to draw meanings from the language in a context. So while conducting this qualitative research, the researcher have to focus on his or her research topic, like what type of analysis he or she wanted to pursue. So because of the human nature of the researchers, coding errors can never be eliminated but only minimized. And it has been seen from various research papers that there is 80% is an acceptable margin for reliability. So when we are talking about its reliability and validity, if we are adopting the qualitative approach and we are conducting the content analysis of a particular document, or say the open-ended responses, or say annual reports, or any other policy document, so we have to be very much sure regarding its stability. When we talk about when we talk about its reliability, we have to be very much sure regarding its 3 points, that is stability, reproducibility, and accuracy. Stability means in this there is a requirement or a tendency for coders to consistently recode the same data in the same way over a time of period. Means the researcher have the capability to consistently record the same data at every period of time, or at any period of time. And in reproducibility means tendency for a group of coders to classify categories in the same way. Uh, in when we talk about the reliability, then the accuracy generally matters, which extent to which the classification of text corresponds to a standard or norm statistically. Means we have to be very much sure that the required analysis or the analyzed results have these main characteristics like stability, reproducibility, and accuracy. Now, when we talking about the validity of our research findings of a qualitative research, then we have to be very much sure that the closeness of categories should be well defined. So, in by achieved, it can be achieved by utilizing multiple classifiers to arrive at an agreed definition of each specific categories. Means when we are preparing the categories, or when we are preparing the codes from our qualitative data or from our open-ended responses, then we have to be very much pretty much sure that all the codes or all the categories are must be synchronized to our research topic. Now the next one is the conclusion. So conclusion means this basically becomes especially problematic when we are using the computer software for analysis and distinguishing between synonyms. Just recently, I have mentioned one example that the word mine, M-I-N-E, variously denotes a personal pronoun. It may be an explosive device. It may be a deep hole in the ground from which the ore is extracted. So the software can obtain an accurate count of that word's occurrence and frequency, but not be able to produce an accurate accounting of the meaning inherent in each particular usage. So this problem could throw off one's results and make any conclusion invalid. So we have to be very much cautious while extracting the meaning from the received responses. So in this regard, various questions may be arise like what level of implication is allowable? Do conclusions correctly follow the data? It means that all the findings are synchronizing with the research objectives. And the next one is the are results explainable by other phenomena. So while conducting the content analysis, all the codes and all the categories which we are preparing by using the computer assisted qualitative data analysis software. So in that perspective, we have to very much cautious that all the categories, all the codes are well synchronizable with each other and with the research objectives. So the last one is the generalizability. Means like when we are conducting the quantitative research, so we are generalizing our findings, our research findings with the previous research findings. So in this qualitative research also, we have to generalize our findings, we have to generalize our research results. So it basically depends upon the categories which we have prepared, how they are determined, and how reliable they are at measuring the idea which is seeking to measure. Means we have to be we have to generalize our findings with the previous findings. So these are the pros and cons of doing the content analysis. So these are the positive points, like it directly examines communication using text, means open-ended answers. Next one is coded form of the text can be statistically analyzed, like I have mentioned that the in while adopting the qualitative research in content analysis, the our we can analyze our findings in both the manner, like in quantitative and in qualitative. But in thematic analysis, we have to be purely uh, qualitative in nature. We have to be purely identify our results in qualitative form. So it allows for both qualitative and quantitative analysis. Content analysis is a readily understood and an inexpensive research method. uh, when done well, when content analysis is done, is considered a relatively exact research method, because what we are doing in the qualitative content analysis method, we are extracting the meaning, we are extracting the opinions, we are extracting the mind, the thoughts of our respondent, which is not possible when we are extracting the data, when we are extracting the numerical data out of their responses. So it further provides insights into complex models of human thought and language use. So these are the negative points. Definitely, it can be extremely time consuming. uh, it uh, it needs your complete efforts, it needs your deeper efforts in conducting the qualitative research. It is often devoid of theoretical base or attempts too liberally to draw meaningful. Content analysis can be difficult to automate or computerize. It tends to often to simply consist of word counts, means only we cannot obtain our results by producing our results in the in the form of word cloud, or in the form of word counts. So content analysis is subjected to increased error, particularly when relational analysis is used to attain a higher level of interpretation. Means we in content analysis, the at each and every step, each and every step have to be well documented in our research paper, or in our research study, and each step needs to be uh, well defined or well authenticated by the researcher itself. So it often disregards the context that produce the text, as well as the state of things after the text is produced. So these are few positive points and some negative points of content analysis. But in from my perspective, if we are adopting the qualitative research, then the thematic analysis can produce the meaningful or insightful findings, research findings, which can further be elaborated in the form of themes and sub themes. So these are the key insights of qualitative research using content analysis. uh, Definitely it will reflect the uniqueness, because in qualitative research it is a way forward in understanding the untold experiences, emotions, because some research questions cannot be answered only by using quantitative method of research. Second point is that it will be helpful in producing the enriching insights, means its findings can be groundbreaking and insightful, which will help us to arrive to the robust findings and suggestions. It has better scope in machine learning, like I have mentioned that we can also apply the programming language like Python to treat our open-ended responses, or treat our interview transcripts, or any textual data by using the machine learning mechanism. Now the fourth point is that there is a possibility for successful intervention by it means that the successful intervention can be possible if we are strongly designing if we are with strong design principles and attention to ethical, technical, and social challenges. Qualitative research methods can make a significant contribution if we are adopting in our research in our research study. So on these particular slides, or this particular uh, theory, there are few advantages as well as disadvantages. So after going through the sufficient literature, the researcher has found that there are few advantages also, and there are few disadvantages of qualitative research, which is very much essential before undertaking it by the researcher. So these advantages are participants are allowed to respond in their own words than simply in a dichotomous type of question. On the other hand, the responses received from the participants tends to be more complex and difficult to assess the essence of their responses or opinions. Now, the second point is that it allows the researcher to probe participant responses and encourage them to elaborate their answers. But on the other hand, it is definitely a time consuming task, and it requires rigorous efforts to arrive at a meaningful and rightful conclusion. The next point, the next advantage is that the interviewer can foresee approximately how much leeway is there to tailor another subsequent question. Means there is a time gap to generate the to prepare the next question in front of our interviewee. So there is a disadvantage that there is a lack of quantitative data, that is the gathered data is highly textual or subjective in nature. So the next point is we have informed consent. We should have informed consent which ensures the foundation of trust between the participant and the researcher, and it will create respect during the interview process. So on the other hand, the disadvantage is that since qualitative research is purely verbal, so there is a possibility of upsetting the sentiments by trivial comments during the interview. The next point is that the no scope of any manipulation at any stage. There is no scope for any type of manipulation at any type of stage. Like I have mentioned that we researcher needs to be well documented each and every research step which he or she is adopting. Means a greater level of transparency and sensitivity should be present to reveal the real context of the data. On the other hand, qualitative research is solely dependent upon the engagement, interest, and timely availability of the participant. That's why it is called that that in while conducting the qualitative research, the researcher needs an ample amount of time for conducting this type of research. So the last advantage is that the methods used in qualitative research are more flexible. It will allow greater spontaneity, and it can be modified and at any stage. Like I have seen in the previous slide that the application of the qualitative research design is an iterative process. Like it is in cyclic mode. Like whenever we are gathering our responses, and when we are going to analyze it, and when we are going to visualize it, so in these steps there is a possibility that the researcher needs to go back and move forward as per our research objectives. So lastly, the last disadvantage can be the participants have more control over the process as they raise any type of question that matters most of them and can be biased. So I can say that all the above pros and cons of the qualitative research, which can be helpful for a researcher to stick to his or her research objective. So since quantitative research deals with a set of numerical figures, so on the other hand, the qualitative research deals with the respondents' voices, their words, their actions in the narrative or descriptive manner, and thus it may be linked to the interpretative analysis. Well, moving forward, which I will be covering in tomorrow's session, that is hands-on practice on the MaxQDA software. So before switching to the next day, I will simply give you a brief about the MaxQDA software. It is a software program which is designed for computer-assisted qualitative and mixed method data. Like I have mentioned that we can analyze our results in quantitative manner or as well as in qualitative manner. So in this regard, the our research approach would be the mixed method approach. So it is designed to analyze the mixed method data, text, multimedia analysis in academic, scientific, and business institutions. And I have already mentioned that it was developed and distributed by Verbi Software based in Berlin, Germany, and its initial version came out in 1995. And tomorrow I will be covering the MaxQDA software in the latest version, that is 2022. So it is designed for the use in qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method research. So MaxQDA software has three different versions like MaxQDA Standard, MaxQDA Plus, and MaxQDA Analytics Pro. So in the first part, that is MaxQDA Standard, the standard version of MaxQDA is designed for both the operating system, that is Windows as well as Mac. And it offers tools for the organization and analysis of the qualitative data. So basically, this includes text, audio, image, video, and bibliographical files, as well as survey data. And most importantly, we can also analyze the Twitter data or Twitter tweets or the focus group transcripts. So the data can be analyzed in a 4-screen window, which I will be sharing tomorrow. The complete interface of the MaxQDA software. Well, the MaxQDA's visualization functions and exports options facilitate presentations. It includes some quantitative data analysis tools, that is mixed method tools also. Now the second version is the MaxQDA Plus. So in MaxQDA Plus is an extended version of MaxQDA and includes the includes the Max dictionary. It means that the researcher can create dictionaries as well as to search and filter text files. So the vocabulary and word frequency analysis can be done by using the version of MaxQDA Plus. Now the third version is the MaxQDA Analytics Pro. So it is the most advanced version of MaxQDA, which will be using tomorrow's session. So besides the Max dictionary module, it also integrates a comprehensive module for statistical analysis of qualitative data. So there is one module, there is a one tab also in the MaxQDA software is the stats module, which offers tools to statistically analyze MaxQDA project data or import and work with external quantitative data sets like we can do in Excel or we can do in SPSS file. So this is all about the basic information regarding the qualitative research technique, and the in this today's lecture we have covered that what is the need to conduct the qualitative research. Then why there is a need to conduct the qualitative research, because there is if we are applying only the quantitative research technique, then we are only getting the numerical data. We are only getting the responses in numerical format. But if we are applying the qualitative research, then there is a chance to deep dive into the thought process of a particular respondent. So the complete, or I can say a comprehensive picture can be well portrayed while conducting or while describing our research findings. So these are all the references. Now the floor is open if anybody is having um, any question regarding the qualitative research, because tomorrow we will be covering the hands-on on qualitative research tool, that is MAXQDA software. So if anybody is having any question, like I'm checking the chat window also. Okay. So based on the content, or based on the theory which has been covered in today's lecture, please give your please give your honest feedbacks uh, regarding the type of research, regarding the type of topic which we have covered, and regarding its intent, and what research topic we can cover in our future webinars. So if anybody is having any question, then he or she can they unmute themselves and ask whatever the research, whatever they are facing any query, or they are facing any type of question or query regarding the qualitative research or in quantitative research.
Ma'am, someone is asking
Yes.
in chat box.
Okay. Can we use MAXQDA for analysis of policy documents? Yes. Yes, Dr. Nancy ma'am. We can use MAXQDA software for analyzing the policy documents. Like there are n number of features which will be covering in tomorrow's session. Like we can do the literature review of the articles which we are covering while doing our research articles, or while doing our research thesis. And the next point is that there is a combination of stat module also, which is integrated in that particular software. Uh, uh, we are doing the statistical analysis in SPSS software. So in the same manner, we can find out the frequency of our codes, or the frequency of our categories which we are making. So there is uh, mm, a complex, or there is a clear cut network of all the codes and all the categories which we are preparing while analyzing our interview transcripts, or while we analyzing our open-ended answers. So in tomorrow's session, I will be covering the interview transcripts which I am having in the written format. But in addition to this, there is a possibility that we can analyze the video clips also. Like there is one feature in MAXQDA software that we can automatically obtain the transcripts of the verbal communication between the between the interviewer and the interviewee. So there is a possibility of or I can say it is a functionality of the MAXQDA software that it will automatically um, transcribe the communication between the interviewer and the interviewee. So there are n number of functionalities which are there in the MAXQDA software. Like we can create the codes and the themes, and after importing or after importing all the codes or all the themes into the Excel file, because it is easily integrated with the Excel software also, and with the um, with another SPSS software. So basically we can import our SPSS file, we can import our XLS file, we can import our PDF file, we can import our image file, JPG, whatever in the format, like in JPG format, PNG format. So all the type of mm, uh, uh, for all the type of data, means if the data is in the image form, we can analyze it. If the data is in the pictorial form, we can collect it and analyze it. We can analyze the video clips, we can analyze the written responses, we can analyze the literature or the previous published literature. So I hope I'm able to answer you. If any question is there, then I am here to help you. And if you are if please go through all the research research designs which I have covered, that is narrative research, phenomenological research, case study research, groundwork theory research, ethnographic research. So all these research designs can be applied to your research topic as the need of your research nature, as the need of your nature of your study. So any type of research design can be well applied. And the you can also analyze the open-ended answers, which can be of one statement, which can be of lengthy two line statements. So we can also analyze that type of data set. And if you are having that particular type of data set, then please do share it with us, so that we can be able to analyze it beforehand and produce it in the tomorrow's session. So Rafiq sir, is there any question from any participant?
Yes, thank you very much.
So should I stop sharing my screen?
Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you very much for this wonderful sessions. Uh, I am audible or not?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving a wonderful knowledge for us regarding this topic. So, if there is any question, then you can ask, and anyone can ask. Otherwise, we will end it with this meeting. We will see you tomorrow on new the practical part of MAXQDA. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the sessions. I think we should end it. If there is no any questions and any further inquiry regarding this session. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, participants. Uh, I have mail to you a link for review link. Kindly give us your link, and in chat box and WhatsApp group also. Kindly give us your review regarding this workshop. This is a feedback link. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.